The title is Get Rich or Die Trappin'. And for me, that's just been a way of life for so long. And many others, like it just, Get Rich or Die Trappin' doesn't mean you just going out there selling dope or whatever. It just shit, you got a regular job, like how you seen her doing this interview, that's trapping. You do that shit, you go hard for it. How we just sat here 20 minutes before we started, that you trapping, that's feeding your family. Get Rich or Die Trappin'. And another reason I chose the title was off of 50 Cent, to Get Rich or Die Tryin'. It's just when that shit hit, that movement was just so big and so undeniable, but it was so real at the same time. And I felt like we talking about different things, but it's like a same movement. It's just so powerful. It relates to so many people. Like, so that's just like the gist of it. And like, he had the song Mini Man. I redid Mini Plugs just to, well, I redid it and called it Mini Plugs to pay him his homage, let him know like, shit, you know, I bit off you. Like I say, like a lot of motherfuckers don't let it be known when they bite shit. I bit off of it because it went with everything. And I felt like my shit was just as powerful as his when he came out, when he dropped.
Speaking of 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying is his classic album, his debut album. Well, maybe not his debut album, but his debut album to the public, because he had a smaller album before that, I think, on Columbia Records. But this strong major label debut from 50 Cent, his classic, like I said, is a certain staple in hip-hop. When people see this title for your project, what feedback did you get just off the title?
The feedback was, the title was catchy. I just hope you coming like he came, because when he came out, he was going crazy. So that's the feedback. Then when they hear it, they just like, shit a classic, instant classic. So, yeah, the feedback been real good. But I actually had a couple people hit me though on Instagram, like in DM, like, man, you should have never fucked with that name, man. That shit, that nigga a classic. But you know, everybody entitled to their own opinion. But I think it came out real good and, you know, did what I wanted it to do. And it's still growing. It's only been a week. It's growing like a motherfucker.
The artwork. Give me the whole concept of just the artwork and why you chose the artwork to look the way it does for this project.
Okay. At first I had another cover, but we were all talking and everybody just, you know, they made me see their point, because they just said the cover just need to be just plain, just to the point. And it's like, it kind of still telling a story without saying anything. It's like it looked like some pain in there, some struggle, but also from like a music standpoint, it looked like an album, not a mixtape. It looked like a classic, it looked like some shit people waiting on that they want to hear. So, yeah, that was pretty much how I came up with it.
The release date. Was there any significance on the release date and why this was chosen for this project?
No, there's no significance on the release date. That date was just chosen because that's when I felt like, shit, it was ready. That's when I felt like all the ducks were in a row, and like I chose that date. Shit. At first, the original date was November 21st, but the shit went together. And I was down in Miami with Ike. He was like, man, you need to change that shit. That shit ain't right. You need to do that shit. Get that shit over. Fuck that. You need to come out right. So shit, you know. And you know, I could take constructive criticism, especially from motherfuckers who want to see me win. So shit, we changed it. And we made it happen the right way.
The amount of songs on the project, why that amount for this one?
Because I just wanna let everything be heard. I ain't been out in so long. Shit, I ain't been out probably in 10 years. It's just shit, 18 songs. A couple people even told me that was too much. Like I was talking to T.I., he was like, man, I think you probably should do 13, 14, something like that. Like a lot of people said that, but I just wanted the shit to be heard. And I got a few features on there, big names too. I felt like that would help carry it too, with it being so many songs. So I just rocked with the 18.
The track list, who put that together and what was the process behind it?
Shit, me, Ike, Steve, Nick. Who else was in there? I think no one was in there with us. We just sat in there listening to every single goddamn. Before we went in there, the only numbers that I had for sure were 3. I had the intro. I knew I wanted number 2 to be what number 2 is, and I had the outro. As far as the sequence, the numbers. That's all I had. Other than that, we went in there, listened to it. We stayed in that motherfucker all night. Just listened to it, came up with it, till we felt like it was how we wanted it to be.
How many songs did you choose from to get to 18?
Shit, 19.
Oh. I do interviews with some artists and they say, I had 50 songs to go choose from, or 200 songs, or whatever. You had 19.
I had 19. And the only reason the 19th one wasn't on there is because that song also had a feature, and you know they just weren't able to get their session over in enough time, so we just rolled with the 18.
Care to share who that feature was?
My dog, Boston George, with Jeezy.
Didn't make the tape.
Yeah, I mean, we was trying. I was calling him. It was just, he said his engineer was sending it. You know, we was waiting on it, and by the time I had to turn it in, I still didn't have it. And then by the time he sent it, it was just so much going on, and I was just, you know, he sent it the day before the tape dropped. So, and I was still trying to push for it, but I had the listening party that day and everything. So I just had to roll with it. But me and him talked. We just gonna probably shoot a video for it, put it out, just for the people to still hear it. Shout out my dog Boston George.
If somebody hasn't heard this project yet, can you describe the sound of it?
The sound, very organic, very to the point. I would say some of it is like a hardcore sound, and I would say some of it is like a sound that make you think, a sound that make you reevaluate shit. It's just but all around overall got a good sound, a street sound, a relatable sound of people who can relate to what I'm talking about. So yeah.
How much does a project like this cost to make?
To make wasn't as expensive as it cost to put it out and present it to the people. To make it, it was just shit. You know, I got good relationships pretty much on that tape with everybody. Like I don't know Trick Daddy personally, but I reached out to somebody who sit in the room with him every day. I don't know MoneyBagg Yo personally, but I mean I know him personally now, but it was through my boy Steve, so he reached out to him. It was like and we met a couple times through that, so it was just like all right, shit, whatever. Like Lil Baby, Marlo, you know, we had a relationship before any of us ever did anything with music. T.I., it was just a reach out. We missed each other a couple times, but we also had songs that he sent me previously that we got together, 2 songs. And you know, I reached out to him to get on it. We missed each other a couple times, but he was just 100. I was in the studio the night before the listening party. This was December 3rd, because the tape dropped on the 5th. Listening party was the 4th. I was in the studio on the 3rd. He hit me like, well, I missed him the night before because I fell asleep in my studio. I was supposed to meet him. But then on the 3rd, he hit me like, shit, I'm at the movies with my kids. When I leave here, I'm going to hit you, man. I'm going to come through for you. I'll be down about 9 or 10 o'clock. He hit me like, shit, I left. I'm going to make a stop and I'm going to be on the way to the studio. He pulled up, knocked his verse out. So everything was real love. It was real, you know, just genuine as far as putting the tape together. Then, you know, I've been dealing with Drummer Boy, so as far as the production-wise, I had him, Zaytoven, Cassius J. It was just, you know, wasn't as hard putting it together as it was putting it out, or it cost as much.
Care to share a figure?
We up there. We ain't in no single digits or no double digits. Real talk is like one of those personal where it's just not me talking about, let's get some money, let's do this, let's do whatever we doing today. Real talk is like you take a glimpse into my life from a kid, elementary school to now. I talk about growing up with my mom, growing up in poverty, growing up homeless, growing up broke, to having to steal school clothes from my brother Nick, to losing my dad, to losing my brother Mon, to now, I just incorporated everything. Real talk is like that song that's on there, that's my life from kid to now. So that's definitely one of my favorites, one of my more personal songs too. I guess a song that you could say where I opened up in. And let me see. Another one, pictures. Pictures is real. You'll just, I wouldn't say have to be in a life to understand, but it's like I take you into another part of my life, not just, it's like how I see shit every day, not just like people looking at me, just niggas who don't like me, niggas who like me, maybe the police, maybe just, it's just pictures. Like I just feel like, God damn, everybody just want to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And that's what pictures got to deal with. That shit is real. Touch me, for real. Another song I would say would be Good Life. That's with T.I. and Lil Baby. That's more of like a fun record. That's more of the fun records, just like Fuck 'Em All with Tobias Tate, MoneyBagg Yo, and Marlo. Those more like fun records, like let's celebrate this shit that we going through. Let's, you know, like shit, get Rich or Die Trappin here. Let's celebrate it. Like, nigga, I've been working all day, nigga. I'm home. Let's drink some Hennessy and celebrate. Like those more like the fun records, you know, like the rewards of what we've been doing. So that was a good record to me. And I mean, yeah, those are two good records to me. And yeah, Keeping It G. Dope Boy Rob made that beat. That record right there just give me chills. That motherfucker there, it's like, that shit give me chills. Like the hook be like, niggas talk about the ups but not the downs. Saw my partner lower than the fucking ground. Just keeping it G. Everybody on your dick when you that nigga. They don't tell you that the feds gonna come get you. It's like it tell you both sides of the game. It's like that message coming in, like, you know, now you got a lot of niggas saying, hell yeah, man, we just sold 1 million bricks. We got $30 million over here. But they don't tell you about when the motherfuckers come kicking that door and your ass sitting in that cell by yourself and you ain't got nobody to call, nobody to fuck with, nobody to nothing. Like, I ain't never been to jail, but I know people who have and shit. Everybody got the same story. Everybody with you until the fucked up shit go down. Till you got them sitting there and shit, you know. So also I talk about the shit, but I also let motherfuckers know it's consequences to this shit too. Like, I ain't just glorifying like Get Rich or Die Trappin' just off the name. People think like, oh, that nigga just talking about sell drugs and goddamn. Nah, hell nah. This shit is Get Rich or Die Trappin' for real, nigga. Like, that's how I go. Shit, motherfucker niggas could die in this shit. Niggas go to jail in this shit. Like, it's always a consequence. Or for every action, it's a reaction. You know? Some people make it out, some people don't. So you just gotta let them know both sides before you just let them think you just glorifying the shit. Like, yeah, I got on all these chains and all this shit, but shit, that shit good and bad. That shit the gift and the curse. So, yeah, that one right there give a nigga chills.
Any other records you want to highlight? Or are those your favorites?
Dope Boy with Pusha T. That's gonna be my single. Y'all go ahead and look out for that. But that was more of like a fun record too. It got the bounce feel. That was more of a fun record, you know. And Pusha, shout out Pusha, that's my dog. I made a call to him like, man, I need you on this record. I tell everybody. He was like, man, I'm gonna have it to you on the first. That nigga sent it to me on the second, so shit, I wasn't mad. I ain't never think I was gonna drop another tape ever again in life. That's very interesting, but you know, I got it together, ended up doing it. And the process was actually fun. You know, I got my own studio, so, you know, people come through, fuck with me, and, you know, it was fun once I got into it. I say that. Because if I was bullshitting, shit, some of them songs on there I had for a year, you know, just bullshitting. But it was fun once I got into it, and it was like, I'm about to do this shit. The process was actually fun.
Now, you made a reference prior in the interview, and you said it was like 10 years since you've released some music. Were you exaggerating there, or is that the truth?
No, when you went to jail?
2009.
2009. Well,
That's 8 years.
Yeah, because last time I released about a year after that, so I released my last project, I think 2010, 2011. Wasn't no later than 2011. So 10 was a little off, but 6 to 8 years.
Why so long? Why even come back to music? You took that long off. Why?
It's just time, man. It's just time for a change. And that's really like, shit, for me, like I say, that title So Real, that's damn near like the only way out. Like I done, shit, stopped everything. Shit, nigga can't get out here in the streets for real and do what he gotta do. Shit, I gotta do something. That's really, and who else better from a motherfucker to hear about Get Rich or Die Trappin' than me? It's credible. It's, you know, it's just time. It's time. I'm tired. Shit, I'm tired. I'm ready to be tired from music or some shit. I'm just tired. It's just time. I had lost a lot of interest though, like I said before, when I brought up my brother Marn, because he used to be with me every day. Like, he said, I go to the motherfucking studio, nigga, do this, do that. Then when he died, it was kind of like, I ain't had nobody there every day. Like, he used to stay with me. We used to stay together. I ain't had nobody every day. Like, nigga, nigga, you better go to the studio. So it was just kind of like a, you know, people say it here, and I'd be like, man, fuck the studio. You know what I'm saying? But it's just time. Just time.
When people see this project, because it's been so long, do they take you as a brand new artist, or do people remember like, oh man, it's been a minute since he's dropped, let me check this out and see what he's talking about?
Some people. I think it's like half and half. I think some people remember me as a brand new artist. But I think like the people who younger than me, maybe 20, 21, they might have been 14, 15. I'm still talking about the shit I'm talking about. They was in school. So they probably look at me as a new artist. But people, my peers that's around my age, I think they remember.
Go ahead.
Because I used to always get people like, when you gonna drop some more shit, man? That shit. Even now, after I dropped this, I had somebody send me a copy of my first tape. This is my third tape. I had somebody send me a copy of my first one. I know that one was 10 years ago. So, you know, I got a couple people who been waiting on to hit a reel.
In 6 years, 6 to 8 years, has your sound changed? Like, if they listen to this, are they gonna expect to hear tape 1 or tape 2 Jody, or is this a different sound, a different person on the mic?
I mean, I've grown up a lot in 6, 8 years. I've been through a hell of a lot more shit. So I would say a lot of the content is the same, but me as a person, I'm different, and I could explain the situation a lot more different. Like the songs in Real Talk, I can explain some shit a lot better now. I can, you know, open up better. I learned how to talk more, like. So I think a lot of the content is the same, but the way I'm presenting it is different.
Has the vocabulary changed? Has your delivery changed? Has
the
beats you choose changed?
Yeah, I could tell that too. Especially vocabulary and rapping. I see I picked up the pace a lot too on this.
Anybody you want to shout out in regards to this project? You've named some producers and some features. Anybody else? And you've named some other people that have helped you put this project together, but anybody else you didn't name you'd want to shout out?
I want to shout out my mixtapes. They you know, they helped me as far as presenting it. I mean, everybody else who helped me, who stayed down with it, I already named, like my brother Nick, Steve, Ike, you know, shit, all of us really stayed down and put it out, you know, every day for like the last few months, especially the last two months at least, every day, every single day, till it dropped. Every single day we together. This is what we got to do, even when I don't want to. This is what we do. This so shout them out. I appreciate them for sure for all their help.